Welcome everyone to our news leak here, the PPLNX. Maybe you might have already seen some team analysis from the other coaches, but yeah, what the fuck is the PPLNX? And it's probably the longest Wi-Fi league that I've ever joined, and because we have like three stages to the entire process basically. So this will be the team preview for our stage one team that we drafted, and yeah. So just some basic information. This first stage is going to be no terror at all, with most of the high tiers banned, so something like the Dragapult, Iron Valiant, Gouging Fire, all gone. And yeah, so this will probably be a bit of a lower power level for this one, for this stage at least. And yeah, after this first 5 battles that are going to be uploaded in the next 5 days, we will enter a semi-playoffs basically, and yeah, where we basically just play until someone wins. The winner of this stage will basically move on to the grand final playoffs immediately, and yeah, the rest will basically, from what I've heard, gather some points for that. Yeah, honestly, I haven't figured it out entirely myself. So I'll figure it out along the road. Maybe in the next team preview, I'll let you know if I figured it out. Otherwise, we will make sure to do our best this season, especially for 5 battles. That's basically nothing. Like every game matters absolutely. And yeah, so maybe why not just jump right into it. So we were drafting, I think we were 12 per person, per how's it called, division. And yeah, I basically got second to last, which is honestly, I fucking take it. Honestly, I didn't really expect anything crazy to get back to me, but we ended up getting Annihilate. Honestly, Annihilate is like my top 2 Pokemon that was still allowed in this league. Like, there aren't many that broken other mons that actually hurt it that badly. Like, most of the faster fairies are gone, so that's a huge plus point for Annihilate. And honestly, you probably know what Annihilate does at this point, and yeah, it's going to be a big nuisance for the other mons. Also, if you all want to know my next best Pokemon that already was still on the board, for my pick, it was Baxcalibur. But yeah, honestly, I just ended up getting Annihilate because, man, I really want to fucking try this monkey out in a Wi-Fi game. At least once. And yeah, I'm super hyped to actually get it. So next up, we went with probably like the most fucking typical standard thing you could go with Annihilate in Samurott Hisui. Thing was a bit on the expensive side with 18 points out of a 20-point tier system. Honestly, I think it's still worth it. Like, Caesar's Edge is fucking broken, and honestly, from the times I drafted Samurott Hisui before, you can do everything with that mon. Like, literally fucking everything. From AV, Spit Def, other bullshit, like Rest Talk or something like that. Like, Samurott Hisui can fucking do it. Also, pretty great choice bender or choice cover. So that's going to be really fire as well. And also just getting some momentum as well, just like Annihilate with Flip Turn is also really great. And yeah, I think you all know what the fuck Samurott Hisui does at this point. Next up, what do you draft when you get 2 fairy weeks, of course you're gonna draft probably one of the best fairy resists that you can have in Volcarona. I loved it. I have a big history with this moth. I just fucking love it, honestly. And it's such a great partner for like my first 2 months that honestly I was still kind of surprised that it actually came back to me. Because like with this team I'm kind of aiming for like a more feather approach, and honestly I think Volcarona just fits on this team pretty perfectly, especially for late game sweeping options. And I think Volcarona just gave us like probably the best thing as well. Yeah, and next up we got ourselves another fairy resist actually, and honestly I think this mon is kind of great in this manner with many of these top tiers banned, because it actually gets freed up for other mons that it can check pretty well. So we went with Galaweezing. Yeah, I wanted at least some hazard removal, and honestly, Weezing does this pretty great. Like, Samurott Hisui, I mean, you typically do not want Defunct with Samurott Hisui, but with our team, I think Samurott can get off the spikes more often than our opponent might just get their hazards off. So I think that's going to be really fun to play around with, and also it's a great supporter for our Annihilate with Will-O-Wisp and shit. So yeah, really excited to actually play that. Then next up we have Noivern. I really wanted something speedy, and honestly Noivern was a pretty good pick left there. I really wanted a dragon as well, and honestly I'm pretty happy with Noivern. Originally, I kind of wanted Latias, to be honest, which would have given us a good speed tier as well, but that thing unfortunately went right before us. Maybe I should have taken it like around earlier and maybe got a Weezing around later, but honestly, I'm still fine with it. Noivern is a pretty great mon as well, pretty greedy, and can us basically just gives us another momentum mod into our Annihilate and shit. And yeah, I think you all know what the fuck a Noivern does. Then next up, I went with another Fairy Resist, because why the fuck not? And honestly, I thought it was kind of fucking cheap on the board, like 7 points for a Registeel? Why? That thing is great, honestly. That was motherfucking cheap, to be honest. And honestly, I wanted a fat mon. I wanted a really fucking fat mon. And honestly, I love using Registeel. Like, it's so motherfucking versatile. You never fucking know what the fuck I could cook up with that thing. Like, for something like another team, I built like an expert belt Thunder. I spin a Registeel, which absolutely nuked through a Pelipper. So that was pretty fun. So, man, I'm hyped for that thing. Also, it has multiple setup options, as well as his most well-known set being the Demon Steel. God, I motherfucking love that name. Like, if you do not have a ghost type and a sufficient fire type or something like that, you are motherfucking cooked if that thing shows up. And yeah, I'm super excited to use it. As well as our next pick. Honestly, when the fuck was that at 7 points again? Like, why the fuck is Blissey at 7 points? Honestly, in this meta, it has great chances to actually check things. And yeah, honestly, without Dragapult being around, honestly, I think Blissey just gets better and better. And yeah, it's just our box standard special wall, basically. And yeah, it gives us another Stealth Rock mon that's not Registeel or Annihilate. Because honestly, who the fuck uses Annihilate for Stealth Rock? Outside of like a Uber league. Like, No, you are not doing that. And also, if a Registeel doesn't have like a good matchup, maybe Blissey has. So we could just do that. I mean, unfortunately, I lost access to teleport. Otherwise, that thing would have been hell of crazy for our team. But I think it's going to be fine as well. Especially like the heal bear support, it actually can bring us for our monkey. So we could just basically run something like dual step, book up, rest, and then just be completely fine with that. Like normal types always appreciate an annihilate in the back. And yeah, next up, I honestly hoped that maybe somebody would snipe me out of it, but then I needed to go with my heart and pick Hooper Unbound. Yes, double dark, but that thing baits U-turn like no freaking other mon, so I fucking had to pick it. And yeah, also I really wanted a fucking break for this team, because right now as this team stands, like, yeah, it kind of lacked like a break, not something like a setup breaker or something like that. And honestly, Hooper probably just gives us that raw power there. And yeah, honestly, Hooper is great, especially with our momentum mons. I think it will hit the field like more often than on other teams. Then next up, we have our Lycanroc Day, the box standard one with the 112 speed. And I motherfucking love that thing. Outside of just his like box standard focus dash stuff, it actually has some pretty great other qualities. Like honestly, having access to close combat is also really great. And honestly, sometimes if it is these, like, you're going to get cooked by those stone edges and the Zamrocks, like, it has the coverage for it as well. So yeah, that's going to be great, and also fills a nice speed gap that we had between Neuron and Corona. Then as our second to last pick, we have a Quagsire. I mean, honestly, I wanted another water type, and honestly, I kind of also wanted like a unaware. So honestly, Quagsire was just sitting there at 7 points again. So honestly, I just motherfucking grabbed it. Gives us another great hazard setter as well. Super awesome that it actually got access to those this gen. Or it's not a sitting duck against something like a Zerud or something like that anymore. So yeah, that's going to be great. Also, it's a super nasty core with something like the Blissey. And yeah, also one of the few mons actually that's still capable of toxicking the opponent. Right next to our Weezing. I think that's going to be pretty fire that we can just toxic somebody on the switch. Especially with our team, most of them appreciate that pretty well. Then lastly, we have Rotom. I mean, maybe you're used to me picking Rotom at this point and using it like in 1 or 2 games. Honestly, then Rotom did his job pretty well. Yeah, we are going double ghost, but yeah, honestly, I just wanted another ground resist on this team as well. That is not Galaweezing or something like that. And honestly, I'm pretty happy with Rotom. Just gets off some wall switches, some willows, maybe dual screens here and there. And yeah, basically box standard Rotom stuff. And yeah, I lied. This wasn't actually our last pick, because I think after the draft finished, Jack actually just pinged us and said that we could make a mascot pick for 0 points. So honestly, I I looked through everything and I think I found a pretty fun one, to be honest, that might actually come to a game. Because that thing isn't too bad. So we picked a motherfucking Cosmo. That thing is also fucking bulky as fuck. Like 131 defense and special defense is nothing to scoff at. I mean, its moves are trash as fuck. But honestly, it might just get off like a teleport once in a singular game, and that's it. But honestly, I think that's going to be just worth it, because with its defensive profile, it actually just takes on a probably like a single hit like super well, and then gets in a threat of our team with teleport. And yeah, there's also surprising synergy with Blissey as well, which is kind of funny, to be honest. And yeah, also Sturdy is a pretty great ability if we need some momentum there and need to lift it desperately. And yeah, that's also basically just going to be like the only thing that it'll do. Teleport out into one of our months, and that's it. Yeah, hopefully y'all are looking forward to the season, because this will be a very, very stacked one. 48 coaches, which is a fuck ton. Honestly, I've probably never been like in a single like league that had that many fucking coaches. Yeah, also I'm super excited for the following stages. Stage 2 is going to be I think the top tiers are going to get unbanned with Lote Terra. So that's super, super nice and will be a nice change after this stage, which I mentioned was no Terra. And yeah, hopefully y'all are looking forward to it as well. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, I think, when the first battle goes up. Yeah, bye.